What is going on, people? It is the Witch Doctor, and today I got some more TCG stuff for you guys, and it is a very cool idea that I think are hidden gems within the Ancient Origins set. So we're talking about the Regis, people. Regirock, Registeel, and Regice. Or Regice is how you pronounce it, I think, but I don't care. Point is, we're gonna talk about them. I classify these three as the EX killers. Now, if you're wondering why, each one of them has an attack that does something to EX Pokemon, and it is something very good. It isn't something that's kind of mediocre, but it is actually pretty decent against EX Pokemon. So we'll start off with the one which I think is the least of the, I don't know, I guess the one that isn't the best of the three, but Registeel is pretty decent since steel types do have some good support now with energy acceleration and stuff like that. But let's look into it. All three of the Regis have 120 HP. All three of them have a 3 retreat cost, which is kind of bad, and each have different weaknesses but resist certain things. So I don't think Regirock doesn't have resistance. Yeah, neither does Regice. So it's just Registeel. So yeah. Anyways, Iron Head for 1 steel energy and 1 colorless 30 times. Flip a coin until you get tails. Attack does 30 damage and times the number of heads. So I guess that can be okay, but you can flip tails the very first time and then just not do anything. But Forbidden Iron Hammer, that is what we are looking at. For 70 damage, 1 steel energy and 2 colorless energies. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, discard an energy attached to that Pokemon. So right there, you're cutting off energy on these EX Pokemon, which is actually very nice. It is good to start off early with one of the Regis, which if the whole deck is revolved around Regis, it's good to start off with them. So my best advice is to have multiple copies of them and blend energies if they're still legal to play. I haven't been looking at them, but I'm gonna have my own deck soon of the Regis, and I'll make sure to show you guys. But as of right now, I don't have all the resources that I need, but I will soon. Don't count me out just yet. But yeah, this is the one I think is the least of the the least greatest of the three. So let's go to the second best in my opinion, which is Regirock for 40 damage, rock throw, 1 fighting energy, and 1 colorless does 40. That's actually not bad. But Unyielding Rock for 1 fighting energy and 2 colorless energies, 60 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX Pokemon, this attack does 60 more damage. So you're doing 120, which is, oh man, you're doing such a big dent in these EX Pokemon. It's not even funny. So basically, it says he is your attacker basically for the Regis, but I wouldn't necessarily use him as an attacker. I would use him more as like a last resort kind of thing, because the best one is Regice. So Ice Beam does 30 damage for 1 water energy, 1 colorless. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is not paralyzed. That's actually pretty decent if you start off with Regice and you want to just start like building him up. So that's actually pretty decent. But Resistant Blizzard is what we want to use. For 70 damage, 1 water energy and 2 colorless. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by EX Pokemon. Now, every deck out there runs EX Pokemon. Most of the competitive meta decks are just full of EX Pokemon. Now, the only thing you have to watch out for with these Regis is obviously the retreat cost and having to deal with Pokemon that aren't EXs, because if they're not an EX Pokemon, then that's when it'll give you kind of a bit of trouble. So, to counter that, we have Yveltal EX. Now, the deck doesn't need Yveltal EX, but a powerful attacker that can get rid of other Pokemon that aren't EXs, or even EXs too, would work. So, for example, Yveltal is a really nice solid one. I wouldn't recommend using it too much because that means there's too many energies in the deck. I'm just using him as an example. So you can go with something like Mewtwo, or with the newly released Lugia EX, which is something that will be very nice to have in the deck, because you use colorless energy with that, and you can easily just Arrow Ball or Evil Ball or X Ball to do massive damage to Pokemon that comes in, because they would need some serious energies, or at least 2 or 3, to knock out the Regis, since they have pretty decent HP. But that is about it. This is just a simple strategy I wanted to share with you guys. I will be doing a deck profile soon once I get all the cards I need for this Regi deck, because I like building decks on my own. I really don't like going to Google and copying, pasting decks. I like to have fun and experiment. So for right now, this is definitely something I'm going to try out. And I will talk to you guys later. Darkness.